Hey, everybody. It is yours truly, Dr. Shamika Dean, your favorite marketing solutionist. Y'all come on in. Come on in. As you're tuning in, you already know what to do. Comment, let me know what part of the world you decide to stop what you're doing and tune in and listen to what Dr. Dean has to say. Hey. So, if you're new to me, I am again your favorite marketing solutionist. I help service based entrepreneurs, course creators, membership creators, and signature program creators. I teach them how to market like a mogul. So, what that means is I teach them how to hang up the hustle and learn to make rest the new revenue through a marketing and launch strategies that give them their time back while they're still able to make an income as well as an impact. Hey, from New York, how are you? All right. So yeah, comment, let me know where you're tuning in from. I want to just talk to y'all real quick. This is going to be one of those candid conversations, right? Candid conversations with CEO because there are a few things that I want to talk about. And I want to first talk about, success, right? Success leaves clues, right? So we've been told that, we've been taught that. But even with success leaving clues, a part of that success has everything to do with the team that you choose. All right. And so I want to talk about some of those key team members that can hinder your success or can actually shoot you forward and propel you forward, into success, the success that you want to achieve, rather. So, one of the things that I've seen and witnessed a lot of in this industry is when there's a certain level of success, right? When there's a certain level of success in a relationship, you know, I've seen a record breaking number of divorces, a record breaking number of divorces in marriages after one or more of the spouses, achieves a certain level of success, right? And so it brought me to this conversation, thinking about how important it is for us to understand who we say I do to. Okay. Who we say I do to. So, a lot of times when people get married, in some cases, a lot of cases, they don't really take the time to get to know who they are first. And so, they jump into a marriage and not knowing who they are, right? And so on that journey of marriage, and then the moments when they decide to take the time to really understand who they are, their purpose, their identity, and all of that, then there becomes a rift in the relationship, right? Because who you were when you married that person is not the person that you are at that moment, or the person that you become, because we are always evolving as individuals if we so choose. Now, everybody, growth is optional, change is inevitable, but growth is optional, right? And so sometimes, when we get married, we don't really know who we are. And when we start going through that journey or that process of discovering, identifying who we are, we actually become strangers to the person that we're married to. They start looking at us, and because we're making all these changes, and they start looking at us and they're wondering, who is this individual that I'm looking at, because this is not the person, that I married, right? And so again, a great part of your success is about the team that you choose, and that a part of that team is also the person that you are married to. So what I'm saying is that, um hey, Aisha, what I'm saying is that understanding who you are first is vitally important. Vitally important. Before, I'm going to talk to women today, but this goes for men as well. But before you become one with someone, you need to identify who you are first. Before you try to become somebody's wife, you need to know who you are as a woman. Okay? Because when you don't, you get into this marriage. If you don't know who you are, your marriage become, you try to find your identity in your mate. and then your marriage becomes an idol, right? And so when you then start discovering who you are, you begin to evolve into the authentic version of yourself, and who you marry doesn't understand that. You begin to pursue your purpose, and who you married to doesn't understand that, because when they met you, right, you didn't have all these goals, these dreams, these ambitions. In some cases, not in all cases, but you didn't really you didn't have all of that going on, right? You didn't have these big dreams and goals that you wanted to accomplish, and to reach those goals, you had to become the person that was necessary for you to actually reach that next level, that level of success in your life. Okay, so it again, it because it causes conflict, it causes a rift in the relationship, because they no longer know, who you are. And so then when you're in the marriage, you you feel like you have to make a decision, right? Do I choose my marriage, or do I choose the mission and the mandate that's on my life, right? So if you're not careful, you will become fearful of losing your marriage, so much so that begin to sabotage the mission and the mandate that's on your life, or you can go so hard on the mission and the mandate that you begin to sacrifice the marriage, right? So it's like there's an exchange. You believe that it has to be, one or the other in your marriage. So what I'm saying is that, number one, when you take the time to really know who you are and understand what your purpose is, you begin to choose differently, because you're not just you understand how important your purpose is before you become someone's partner. So you're not just going to be so quick to marry anyone that shows up and says, "Hey, I like you, I think we should get married." You're thinking that thing through. You're like, you know what? I'm looking at what I'm purposed to do, and I'm looking at this person who wants to do life with me, and I have to make a decision, because who I marry could either cripple me or catapult me, one or the two, right? So you have to you want to make sure again that you're taking the time to find out and identify really who you are, so that when you are faced with that choice to say yay or nay, then you're able to look at it and see if this is going to actually help you get to where you want to go, or if it's going to hold you back. That's another part of the team. Okay, so that's the marriage part, right? Because when your home is out of whack and things are not going the way that they should, it is going to reflect in your business. It's going to show up, because that's a lot of added pressure, stress, and all of those things. If you're someone that you have a huge mandate or call on your life to do something, and then you're married to someone who's okay with being, at this level, and don't want to actually go any higher or any further than they are, then you are faced with the decision. Do I sacrifice the marriage, or do I sacrifice the mission and the mandate on my life, right? You feel like you have to choose. So again, a part of your team is the person that you're married to. And so you want to make sure that you are not making any rash decisions when you get ready to walk down that aisle with someone, and you're making sure that you're doing what you need to do, so that what's necessary and what kind of partner you need to have, so that you can still fulfill your purpose that was given to you long before you become someone's partner. So that's one part. The other part as the team of people that you bring on to help you, your employees, your contractors, or what have you, right? And so when it comes to contractors or hiring people for your team, you have to have a clear vision of what those key roles and positions are, and what kind of person needs to be in that role, not just from their skill set, but also their personality, also the culture of your company, also the one who really truly understands the vision of what it is that you are building, right? Because some people look good on paper, but when you bring them in and you do an interview, and they don't align well with the culture of the company or understand the vision of the company, then it will not aid in the success that you really truly desire for it to aid in. So One of the things that I've learned to do when I start bringing on people on my team, I'm not looking at just where they are right now, right? I'm thinking about where this company is going. And does this person fit well in the culture of the company now, but also in the vision of where the company is going? Because some people have great potential. Some people are good for the right now, but they are not good for the next. Okay. Some positions in your company, you can actually afford to take this person through a longer training, extend a little bit more grace to them. But in other positions, it's an absolute no. It's an absolute no. Right. So when you go through creating your job descriptions and your job descriptions and your interview process, you want to think that thing through thoroughly. What kind of questions do you need to be able to ask them that will reveal to you the character of the person, the true personality of the individual, right? Not the answers to the questions that they can just go and Google. Because some of these people go on glassdoor.com and look up interview questions, and they go and they study and prepare, a great answer for you based on what they've Googled, but they really are just not a good fit for the company. In some positions, you cannot afford to hire based on potential, because doing so will impact your profit margin in your company. And as a business owner or CEO, whatever title you go by, you can't make decisions based on how you feel. You have to make decisions based on what moves the company forward. All right. So again, those people that are going to be a core part of your team. For example, let's talk about the executive assistant position or your personal assistant position. That person needs to be trustworthy. That person needs to be forward thinking. That person needs to be proactive. That person needs to be good at studying or knowing body language. Okay. That person needs to be able, needs to be mentally and emotionally mature, because that's the person that's closest to you, that's going to get a chance to see all of the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, and all of that. And can they be trusted with your wounds, your weaknesses, and all of that? Can they be trusted with confidential information? Can they be trusted to still see you, excuse me, as the leader, right? Can that person be trusted to still see you again as their leader if you fall short, if you are not A1 all of the time? Can they be trusted in that position? All right. So let's just think about that. That's a very key position. The CFO that you bring onto your company, does that person have a prosperity mindset, or do they have a poverty mentality? Because if they have a poverty mentality, they will hinder the growth in your company. Now they need to also have some confidence. They also need to be able to tell you, no, this is not going to happen, or we need to be able to bring in more profit before you make this investment. However, they also have to have a growth mindset, because they need to be able to see where you are and also what's necessary for you to get to the next level financially in your company. Do they have insight, right? So these are key positions and team members that are vitally important to the growth and success of your company, but you have to make sure that you know who you're hiring. Okay. If you have a salesperson on your team, right? Just because they say they are good at sales, are they good at building relationships? Because relationships are the real revenue. If your company foundation is about caring for your clients, caring for your customers, but you hire a salesperson that's just grimy, all they care about is making the money, that's it, that's all, and they start treating people like transactions, it's going to shift the culture of your company. Okay, so that's another position, the sales position. The other thing is any person that's a part of project deadlines, right? So let's just say you have a brand manager on your team, or a marketing person, and you have deadlines that have to consistently be met. The person may be great at what they do, but can they still meet deadlines? Because right now where you are, you may be able to get away, they may be able to get away with missing a deadline here or there. But as you grow and you evolve and you start handling other people's money or other people's businesses, or you're on a higher level and those people are missing deadlines, then what? It tanks the company's brand. It tanks your reputation. Because again, you're only as successful as the team that is around you. So you want to, again, make sure that when you're writing out these descriptions or job descriptions and you're interviewing, your job description needs to not only speak to the skill set that the person must have, you also looking at the personality that that person has. That's, again, that fits well with the culture, the community, the growth of the company, the vision of the company, and understanding things like that. Okay. Hey, Gina. Glad you're here. The other thing, another part of your team, you also need somebody on your team that keeps you spiritually aligned, right? Because there are times when you're going to be in a place, a dark place, a place that is not a good place, and you need somebody that can keep you on the right path and in the right mindset spiritually as well. Okay. So when we think about teams, oftentimes we only think about the people on our teams that's going to make us money. But we are only as good to our team and our business as we are to ourselves first. Right. So spiritual, somebody to keep you strong spiritually. I have some riders on my team. I have some people that I can call right now and say, hey, I need you to fast for me. I need to go on a fast, or I need you to fast for me. And they will do it. I have people that I say, hey, this is where I am in my marriage. This is where I am emotionally. I need you to pray with me. I need some insight. I need to hear from God. I need you to tell me something because I'm not in the place where I need to be. Right. So again, people that can hold you accountable spiritually as well. Right. And I also believe this: every leader needs a leader. Every leader needs a leader. Put this in the comments. Every leader needs a leader. So I'm in business. I have business coaches. I'm also, I have pastoral mentorship, leadership. I have a therapist on hand. All of those things are necessary because they are also a part of my team. But every leader needs a leader. Okay. But here's the thing: when you choose your leader, when you choose your coach, your strategist, or whomever you have that you're going to be going to help guide you in your business, you need to make sure that you're not just looking at the dollar amounts in their bank account when you ask them to lead you. Okay. What is the lifestyle that they live? And when I say lifestyle, I'm not talking about labels, luxury, or any of that. I'm talking about the lifestyle that aligns with the lifestyle that you are called to live. I am a married woman. Okay. And so I want to be under a leadership that first of all makes marriage a priority and believes that family is first. That's important to me. I want a leader that believes that faith is first. That's important to me because I know that what comes from the head trickles down to the body. So I don't want just anybody that makes millions or making a lot of money to be able to lead and guide me, because you give them a position of authority in your life. Stop thinking that they're just your business coach. You're putting them in a position of leadership and authority in your life. So that is why you need to choose wisely when you choose a coach or a strategist or a mentor or whomever you're choosing, right? So I look at the lifestyle that they live. I don't believe in hustling myself to until it hurts. I believe that I hang up the hustle, rest is the new revenue. I believe that there's a better way to build and make millions without breaking yourself or burning your family and your household to the ground to do it. So when I chose my coach, I made sure that my coach was in alignment with that too. Okay. I don't just look at the results that the coach has gotten. I look at the type of clientele that they work with as well. Yes. Is that a community that I want to be a part of, or or that I should be a part of? Yes. Gina says how they got to where they are matters as well. You are absolutely correct, Gina. How they got to where they are matters. If you stepped on people to get where you are, if you do mean girl marketing, if you are tearing people down to build yourself up, that's not the leadership for me. That's not the coach for me. Absolutely not. Okay. If you're telling me that I need to put my kids on the back burner, that I got to hustle until it hurts, team, no sleep, all of that stuff, that's not the coach for me, because I don't subscribe to those things. I don't believe in it. I don't subscribe to it. So you have to look deeper, and you have to look deeper than the bank account, deeper than the success. Again, I'm also looking at the clients that they've had. Is that a community that I'm a part of, or that I want to be a part of, or that I aspire to be a part of? I'm looking at that as well. All right. If I tell you that I need to go and consult and talk with my spouse first, and you tell me that that's not important, you are not the coach for me. You're not, because I'm not going to tear down my household to build to build anything, because I believe that I can have them all. I believe that I can have it all, and I am proving and walking in that I can actually have it all. I don't have to sacrifice one for another. Okay? If you're not spiritually in tune with God, you not the coach for me. You're the coach for someone, and that's no shot, no shade. Whatever you do is fine. That's your belief. I know what I believe. So I am big on alignment. I want to make sure that I'm aligned, because I don't want to be connected to anything that's going to pull me out of alignment with my core beliefs, my values, my morals, or any of those things. Not going to happen. That's right. That's right. Gina says, I work hard sometimes, but I can't handle people doing slick stuff to others. It's just a matter of time before it's me. Absolutely. Listen, if you're bad mouthing other clients, I feel like you'll do it to me if I make you mad enough. If you're gossiping about the next coach, I feel like I'll be the next one if I make you mad enough. So I'm paying attention to your language, your everyday language, not just the language when you're trying to sell me something. I'm paying attention to your everyday language. Okay. If you're telling me that that I gotta hustle, that I can't rest, and you calling rest laziness, not the coach for me. No, because rest is the new revenue. I am not going to kill myself to make anybody's money, because money is the easiest thing to make. First of all, it's just money. It comes to me because I call it to me. It comes to me because I put in the work, but I'm not going to kill myself to do it. So you have to, again, make sure that when you're building your team, know that the coaches that you hire, they are a part of your core team. They are a part of contributing to the success in your business, or the failure, however you want to, whichever one. But you got to choose differently. You have to choose differently. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Tamasha, Tiffany, Sylvia Ties. Oh, did I pronounce that right? I think. If I didn't, I apologize. So, but again, we talk about success leaving clues. But one of the things that I want to kind of touch back on is what Gina said when she said how they got there is what matters. Because what I've seen is that some people will teach you, or saying that it's easy, right? Or saying that you don't have to do all this, but they're not telling you that they did all of that to get to that place. And some of them are still doing that to get to that place, right? And so I want to make sure that every aspect of it aligns. Now, I don't expect there to be perfection, but the things that are important to me, when I go and I make those investments, I'm looking for coaches who value those same things, and not just value it, not just voicing it, but they are actually living it. They are walking it out, walking through it. Okay. So again, your team consists of the person that you're married to. So if y'all just came in, you probably want to go back and watch the beginning of this, watch the replay. The person you're married to, because you had a purpose before you had a partner. Okay. And if you get yourself into a marriage or a relationship with someone who doesn't understand your purpose, it could actually prevent you from fulfilling it. We have a mission and a mandate before we ever get married. We have a purpose before we ever have a partner. And so, a part of making sure, a part of aligning yourself with someone who is going to help you in meeting that mission or mandate or fulfilling that purpose is knowing who you are first. That's a part of it. See, a lot of people don't talk about this when it comes to business because they just want to talk to you about the money part. But let me tell you something: who you are, how you are, who you marry, all of that impacts the money that you're going to make in your business. Because even if you make money, you'll be miserable with it if you don't do what you need to do. And if you're married to somebody who doesn't understand the purpose and what you're called and created to do. The second part of that team are the core people on your payroll. So that's whether it's contractors or employees, those people matter. Again, even with that, you can't just focus on their skill set. Are they good for the company? Are they good for the culture? Do they align with the vision and the growth of where this company is going? Okay. And the other team is the your coach, who you hire to help you on your journey, right? Does that coach their lifestyle, not just the money, but their lifestyle? If you are a woman who's married and you prioritize marriage and family and faith, or any of those things, and you have a coach that's completely against it, it will cause a conflict. It will get you out of alignment. Do they have to believe everything in exactly the way that you believe it? Absolutely no. But it should not be someone who is polar opposite of all the things that you foundationally stand on, because the foundation of everything matters. Because everything built on a faulty foundation will falter. Okay, so you got to make sure again that there is a foundation, some of the core things, your core morals, beliefs, and standards, that there is some alignment there. All right. And then you also want to make sure that you have a someone that you can call on and rely on spiritually as well. Okay. So that is key. That is so important, because I promise you, the spiritual things, that battles, the warfare, and all of those things that you deal with on your journey of building your business are going to outweigh the failed payments. It's going to outweigh an angry client or customer. It's going to outweigh all of those things. So you want to make sure that you have someone that can continue to guide you spiritually as well. Okay, and that is vitally important to me. Vitally, anybody who's followed me long enough knows that Dr. Shamika Dean, loves God, and I'm not switching from it, changing from it, or going in any other direction. That is of utmost importance to me, right? So I have to always make sure that I have somebody in my corner that can keep me aligned and keep me spiritually strong as well. All these are part of your team, okay? One thing I didn't talk about is even some of the casual connections that you have. I believe there are casual connections in our lives, and I believe that there are covenant connections in our lives. The casual connections are the people that we can hide by, see you later, nothing big, nothing. It's just, we're cordial. It is what it is. We see each other in passing and we keep it moving. The covenant connections are the ones that actually bring currency in your life. Covenant connections are currency. And so what I mean by currency is not just a dollar amount. I mean that these are the relationships that make you better time and time again. These are the people that can check you when you are out of line and when you are wrong and say, you know what, you need to get it together. Okay. They're the people that add something to your life and they make you better. Every single time they make you better. Those are what I call covenant connections, because covenant connections are currency. That means that there is a payoff in that relationship. Okay. And the thing about covenant relationships is that it's not one-sided, it's reciprocal. They add value to your life, and you also add value to their life. Completely different. Okay. I mean, so it's not one-sided, right? Yes, absolutely. They make you better. They add something and they make you better. And you says, but what if your spouse hates them? If your spouse hates who? Who, if they hate who, Gina? Hey, Derek. Yeah, it's reciprocal. Relationships should bring forth reciprocity. Okay. Every relationship, because the other thing is relationships are revelatory. I told someone this earlier. Relationships are revelatory. They reveal the height of your healing or the depth of your damage. Every relationship in your life is revealing another part of you about you, whether you believe it or not. I promise you it's true. Man, I should have been a rapper. I just bars. I should have been a rapper. But what if your spouse hates the connection? So my question with that is, if your spouse hates the connection, my question would be, why do they hate the connection? Is it because the connection is making you stronger, or is it because the connection is not good for you and you are unable to see it? Here's why I say that. I remember vividly my husband telling me about a particular person. I could not see it. I was just like, no, they're not like that. They're this, they're that. Not this person. They're not like that. They wouldn't. Let me tell you this. Everything my husband said it was. Everything he said, everything he told me, if it came to be true. It turned out to be true. Okay. Um, it's very, very, very rare that he has been wrong when he's told me something about someone. So again, my question would be to you, Gina, is why does he hate the connection? Hate is a very strong word also. But why does he hate the connection? So I would say to start there, finding out why. Because again, it could be that the connection may be a good thing for you and it could be pulling you away from, you know, something that's not good for you. Or it could be that the connection really isn't as good as you think it is, and it's a warning sign from your spouse. But, that's something that you would have to really sit in and go through the process to identify that. Okay. So again, any other questions? I think I've covered everything. I think, what was I saying? I was talking about those casual and those covenant, connections, right? A lot of times the reason we don't see the success that we should have is because although we're around the right people on the job or in our business, sometimes our casual connections are not in alignment with who we are growing to be. And so we keep going back to what's comfortable. Sometimes your casual connections are where you're comfortable and you need to come up to another place, another level. And so because of that, you keep going backwards or staying in that same place of comfort. And so you want to check and make sure. I would say ask God, and take a look and do a true evaluation of the people that you are connected to. I believe that what you're connected to determines what you give birth to. That's it, and that's all. What you're connected to determines what you give birth to, right? So if you're in a room of, five millionaires or five people that all have healthy marriages, you'll be the sixth one. If you're in the room with five millionaires, you'll be the sixth one. But if you're in the room with people who have miserable marriages, don't honor marriage, they're always complaining about marriage and their spouse and all that, the next thing you know, you'll be looking at your husband upside his head or your wife upside of her head, looking at her like she crazy and ready to chunk the deuces to throw in the towel, all because you're connected to the wrong people. And then you get out there and you're by yourself, and that pillow doesn't keep you warm at night. And you look back and you're like, oh my God, it really was so minor that it could have been fixed with a conversation. So check the connections. Hey, Natalie. 90s kid in effect. Hello, how are you? But every connection in your life matters. Every connection in your life matters. All connections are not adding power. Some of them are draining you of your power. Right? So But the only person to be able to know and identify that is you. Got to do a real evaluation. Okay. So my computer is about to die because I didn't charge it. We are painting and all of that good stuff. So I can't plug it up where I need to because there are too many things plugged up over here. And so my computer again is, let me see if I can tell my son. But yeah, that's it though. Good. She says, I'm getting so much value right now. PCCC says, that's good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, real quick, y'all, before my battery dies on this computer, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from what we've covered. If you're just tuning in, you're going to want to go back and watch the replay. But what was your biggest takeaway? Just tell me in the comment section, real quick. I just wanna rock you. Gina says, this is wonderful. Thank you, Gina. Especially with this being your first time. So nice to meet you. And glad that you decided to to join us today and you decided to stay in. Hey. All right, let's see what else we says. Teja says connection matters. Yes, Gina says this is wonderful. Hello. Valerie says pay attention to your relationships and how they contribute professionally and personally. Gina says select partners that share your values. Yes. If I can tell y'all anything else, who you marry matters. Who you connect to, give yourself to, all that matters, especially when you're building and on your route, on your path or journey, what have you, to success. Yep, absolutely. All right, y'all. That is all I have today for you. I told y'all yesterday that I was going to start back going live. I have been off of the not off of the radar, but for those of you all who don't know, I had a situation where there was an attempted attack on my life. And so I needed to take some time to kind of process and go through all of that. And so I wasn't going live. I had a huge event, had a whole situation go on at the a stalker situation at the event. And then a couple of weeks later, I had an attempted attack on my life. And so I had to take some time to really just kind of process through those moments and those things that actually happened. And but I'm in a great place now, and I wanted to get back to pouring into people the way that I love to. Yeah, Keisha says I came in late, but what I picked up was surround yourself with people who are going the same place as you. Yes. And then Natalie says I've really been evaluating my circle is adding to my life and who I should spend my time with. Yes. Says where to find friends that are good influence. I don't know where to tell you to find friends, but I just know be friendly, heal so that you can attract whole people into your life. Shaquita says, I'm new here. Hey. I came in on the end, got a rewatch, business owner for 18 years. Not sure how I came across your page. Well, I'm so glad you came by, Shaquita, and congratulations on 18 years because that is a very monumental and not a lot of people make it that far. So kudos to you. Thank you. Kate says, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for, yes, thank you so much. Yep, it was very tragic. The video that I talked about it in a video and it actually, the video went viral. I didn't expect it to. I was just sharing with people, the importance of being aware of your surroundings because, what happened to me could have been my face on a t-shirt, right? But because I heard God, I moved when God told me to move. I'm still here to tell the story. says, what I noticed is to put God first and surround yourself with the people that will bring positivity in your life and let the Holy Ghost interpret your every decision. That is very powerful. Yes, absolutely. Be careful because people are not like they used to be. Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff, that's going on in the world. Um, you know, and it's important for us to be aware, and like I said, when you're out, pay attention, stay off your cell phone, focus, pay attention, and stop allowing the cell phone to consume you so much because it could be costly. That was my message. Hey, Tatiani. Tatiani. I don't know. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry if I did. All right. So yeah, go back and watch the beginning of the video. In the beginning of the video, I talked a little bit more about, marriage. And so because I believe, again, who you marry matters, especially when you are building and fulfilling your purpose in life. And sometimes, if you rush into a marriage and you don't take the time to know who you are, then it can be more of a hindrance to you than a help. And so I talked about that being a part of your team. So that was one of the first things that I talked about. And then I went into the other key team people that you need to be careful, not careful, but be strategic and intentional about who you place in certain positions in your life as you are building out your business and on this journey called success. All right. That's all I have for y'all. I love y'all immensely and intensely. I will talk to you all again next time.